Hello and welcome to the EEPROM 9. This is back to good old teardown days and I haven't prepared at all. I'll grab a screwdriver. So today's subject of a teardown, an old Motorola analog phone. This was a 99p eBay thing. I was hoping to get a PLCC EEPROM like the one here, smaller, but PLCC EEPROMs are the rare. Think of the rarest thing that you can, and then multiply that by the highest possible number you can think of, and that's how rare they are. And gravity is being incredibly useful there because it just knocked off a load of stuff, including this wonderful little chip I got hold of. Ah yes, geek to the core. So let's crack it open. There's its battery, which is an nickel cadmium, so leak-tastic. Warning, may explode if disposed of in fire. There's also this completely pointless switch which seems to have leaky gunk on it. Great, we'll just pop that back into the position. It didn't have leaky gunk on it. 6 volts, so uses a high voltage in mobile phone standards today. And there's a crappy little torque screw that we're about to deal with that I completely forgot that was there. And then we shall open the device. It has the usual stuff that you'd expect in an old phone like this. Battery connector, but it's manufactured in the UK. Yep, English made. Not enough stuff is English made, it's all bloody made elsewhere. I miss made in England, however it appears on this old stuff, thank God. So we pop off this cap thing, if I remember how to get it off. There we go, you just pop it off like that. These aerials are pretty much fake. They're just there as a marketing thing. So we pop off the back here, and we're greeted with a sort of type of shielding, a metallized coating. Now I haven't got my multimeter up here, so I can't continuity it. And I just lost the screw. Great. Well done, mate. I'll find that later. That can go to one side. So what we have here is a load of RF magic. Let's grab my torch, which is hiding over here. Don't you dare fall over. What part of don't you dare fall over do you not understand? So we have lots and lots of RF stuff. I don't know what any of the RF stuff really is, but there's familiar stuff that was inside the old Motorola of my mum's that I dismantled that had the PLCC EEPROM, such as one of these which has loads of chips inside, the thing with holes in, various little crystals for frequency, a few chips and canned stuff. So if we grab this, we can pull out 2 circuit boards. Now this is, now what's the date code on this? Because 94, this is from about 95, so roughly about the same era as the phone that Dave Jones on the EEV blog dismantled. So the thing's being Brazilian. Hang on. This is where most people would speed it up or whatever else they like to do. Just kind of bear with me, and I'll have the two the case separated. It's only a single board design. There's the keypad. Good old speaker for the headset. And ringer unit, which is here, speaker. And down here, hidden away, just out of view, is the microphone. So, 95-ish, they weren't all massive. And of course we've got Motorola markings, a date which says 1992. Interesting. So this is an old design basically, and we have the logic which has two EEPROMs which are in plastic casings, which is very disappointing. Which will be for the firmware and microprocessor logic and whatnot up here. But there's one thing that I find very interesting, the display module, which you can remove. Look at that. Isn't that just so cool, and just asking to be interfaced to something? That is just asking to be interfaced. We've got a total of 12 pins, which is not the 9-pin standard, and under it is nothing but a few bits of passive logic. I'm not sure what the processor is, and I can't be bothered to Google it. That's the great thing about my teardowns. If I don't recognise a chip, don't expect me to Google it. But I'll put it up so the camera can see it, and you can Google away to your heart's content exactly what the chips are. Nothing wrong with a bit of interactivity, and maybe you can tell me. It's always interesting getting a bit of interactivity with the audience, and of course, although my channel doesn't lack interactivity, but it never hurts to do little challenges like this. Find the data sheets of the chips. So that is inside a 94 to 95 Motorola mobile phone, which is on the analog network. Now, the analog network for mobile phones was shut off in the late 90s. Same with the pager network, actually, for pagers. And you know what? Even though I was born in the 90s, the early 90s, in fact 91, I have never, ever, ever, ever seen a pager in action. I never saw one. My mum had a mobile phone. Even when we were little, she got one when she could afford it, and when I was pretty much a baby or not even conceived, for the simple fact, so she could call the RAC or AA or whoever she was with back then, which was probably the RAC. I don't think she's ever moved off that particular provider. When the car broke down, especially with two kids and the two dogs, especially with one of them being autistic as well, she didn't really want to be stuck out with just two vulnerable kids in the middle of nowhere where you just don't know what could happen. And so we reassembled the device. Yeah, and the actual aerial unit is probably that curly-whirly springy-like thing. Highly technical terms for you, curly-whirly springy type thing. I like my technical terms that I make up, they're funny. Right, where did that little screw go? Here it is. It didn't go far, just under my chair. Things don't really seem to either go under the bed or under the chair, not sure why. But yeah, I seem to remember this being actually older, but I just kind of forgot the date codes, didn't I? That's what happened there. That often happens, to be honest. I have a habit of forgetting stuff. So we'll pop that back together, pop that back down, and that can go back out into its home in the garage, which is yet to be found because I'm clearing out there. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.